Hello, Internet, and welcome to episode 132 of Verbal Graffiti with your host, Brian Glass, aka the B-Man, the People's Degenerate. Losers energy. Let me repeat those two words that I just put together. Loser energy. Am I a loser? Yes, of course, the B-Man. I am a capital L-O-S-E-R loser. We have a tendency now in Verbal Graffiti to spell out words in the very opening of episodes, but energy. Do I give off loser energy? Let's have an investigation. This all starts. I must make a confession. Those of you who know, who have been day one, know I used to have a written, it's not written, like on the internet, a written blog, typed blog, a website called After Time Expires. I would take stories from the news or stories that I found weird and intriguing, and I would give like a response to the story, like a satirical response, much similar to what we do here at Verbal Graffiti. Just it was not a Reddit specific, and it was just all typed out, no video. And one of the what did I call those blogs? I used to call gimmick blogs. Was I had a Pornhub comment blog that I would do every other Friday. I will admit I stole that blog concept from Barstool Sports. There was a writer there who every Friday would just list off a bunch of funny Pornhub comments, and that was it. And then at some point along the way, he stopped doing that blog. I looked forward to that blog every Friday, and then it stopped disappearing. And I thought, oh, well, I'll start doing it myself. But the difference to the B-Man, why I am a capital L loser, is because I not only would collect and put out and post the funny, awkward, offhand comments that I found on Pornhub, I would give a comment of my own about the Pornhub comment that I found. And I would usually do 10 or 15 every other Friday in like a full blog. Very meta, probably a little too meta. Probably one of the reasons why After Time Expires never took off or gained a following at all. I have always, now I've moved past Pornhub. Pornhub is the Disney of smut. It's not XXX. It's, I'd call it rated R plus, maybe NC-17 plus. It takes you to the third page to get a video that actually shows a lady's face or a little bit of choking and slapping. It's very bland. The videos are all short, a few minutes. There are better spots on the internet if you're a smut guy, if you hawk your dick loogie, the videos on the interweb, there are many more prolific avenues to look at other than Pornhub. Pornhub it's the gateway to better, more profound smut on the internet. So I'm not critical of anybody who, excuse me, as I burp right there. I drink a lot of water right before the episode. I'll never criticize anybody for using Pornhub to hawk their dick loogie too. I'm okay with you. If you're doing that, do you. But after a few months, you should be finding just better sites. I can list them all off, or better Reddit or wherever. That's not what I'm trying to open with you, right? Yeah, B-Man, I look at smutty internet. Okay. But the whole point of why I'm telling you this backstory is because when I was using Pornhub to get myself off, I would leave comments under videos that I actually watched. And the reason why I did that, A, because I'm childish and I thought it was very funny. B, the community of commenters there are actually surprisingly very uplifting. Most of the people who leave comments on Pornhub, they're in on the absurdity of what they're doing. We all know, dude, we're watching smut. We're writing comments about the smut that we're watching. And it's similar to wrestling. Like, you kind of know it's fake, but you're just in this imaginary world and you can pretend it's real while you're there watching it. And you're just disillusioning yourself. And just everybody there, it was funny. Like, we were all in on the joke, similar to stand-up comedy. Yeah, we're going to be a little absurd. It's late at night. It's dark. We're drinking. There's a guy or gal with a microphone in a dark room, lit candles. It's very... it's you're in this environment where absurd takes, pushing the line, as it will, is accepted and even wanted from the audience. Same thing with Pornhub comments. We all understood that we're just a bunch of degenerates trying to have fun with each other. We know. We're just the bottom of society. We're not even, when it's raining and the stream along the curb that's going to the gutter, we're not even the stream. We're the algae that's building up over time underneath the stream. That's who was Pornhub commenters, or when I was one, that's what we were. But we knew that's what we were. And why not have fun with it while you're down there? Anyway, so I used to leave comments on Pornhub. Raising my hand, B-Man, that's who I was back in a prior period of my life. A fondful memory period of my life, I will say. Anyway, back to today. Now, I do all the social media platforms. X is my favorite, but I don't really ever comment other than putting out reels of verbal graffiti, right? I'm a lurker, as they say. I lurk, I scroll, I read forums, but I never post myself. But I have the past week. I've started to leave comments on videos that I watch on YouTube. And B-Man, I watch a lot of YouTube. This past week, my algorithm has been all divorce stories. It's ladies, babes getting behind the camera and telling their divorce story. And they're all the same. It's just, they start off with a deep breath. Today, I'm going to tell you my divorce story. It's very profound when they open. I'm going to open up my heart. The secrets I've never told anybody. I've never told my family or friends, but I'll tell them to strangers on the internet. Anyway, so they're all the same. We'll discuss those in another episode of Verbal Graffiti. But because I'm watching these divorce exposés that are on YouTube, somehow I'm finding these like Sex in the City type videos where it's these ladies, these babes who live in New York City and they vlog about their dating life. And there's this one lady, I left her a comment today because I watched this video. Her name's Anna Howard. It seems like a lovely lady. I'm guessing mid to late 20s, has an apartment in New York City, or at least has a room in New York City. And she's going on a lot of dates. I guess she is recently single, never really dated in New York City, or so she says in this video. And it was a 32-minute video. So I'm watching all 32 minutes, and I'm very invested in her love life. She went out with a fireman that they just had instant a physical chemistry. They had like an 8-hour date. And then while they were on their first date, the firefighter they booked the second date, bought tickets for some event while on the first date. And then on the third date, the firefighter invited Anna Howard to his apartment, and he cooked a steak, and they had a meal, but you know where that went, allegedly. And then there was another guy she dated, went on 3 dates with, and they had great rapport, but it was more of a friendship. Like, she had no physical connection to him, but they had a lot in common, and sense of humor, music, activities they like to do, hobbies. I think bouldering was one of them. So she was talking about all her dating life. Every guy she's gotten to date 3 with, she's discussing on her video. Now, she's saying what they do for a living, but not giving us their name, which is very polite of her and safe of her not to expose these men's real identity on the internet. But, and then I'm reading the comments, and everybody's very supportive of her. But the B-Man, I get through all 32 minutes of her New York City dating life vlog, and I'm invested, and nowhere throughout the video that she put out did she mention whether or not she put out, aka fuck, any of these guys that she went, whom she made it to date 3 with. Now, I made a comment about that in the comments of YouTube. I put out the comment, and I'm paraphrasing here. I go, how many guys do you think this lady slept with? And I said, firefighter, of course, a guy who she went on 3 dates with, who was friendly with, and probably not so sure. And then I said, finished my comment with, and how many other guys did not make it to date 3 that she also slept with? And then almost immediately after I pressed click and that comment, it was on the list, she responded. Anna Howard, that is, the lady who made this video about her dating life, responded to my comment with her comment being what was something along the lines of being interested in other people's sexual activities is loser energy. And that's why I opened this episode with those 2 words, loser energy. And I started to think, well, clearly the B-Man's a loser, but is being interested, in strangers' sex life, love life, does that give off loser energy? I don't know. I'm open. Like, hey, let me know down in the comments what do you think me asking a lady's audience on YouTube. I want to know everyone's opinion. Like, do you think this lady fucked any of these dates or not? And I am interested. Because if you're going to put your love life, your dating life on the internet, especially New York City, when you're in your 20s, when you're in your physical prime, yeah, I want the money shot. Like if I watch a 30-minute video of you discussing all the dates that you've been on in New York City the past few months, the B-Man, I want to know, did you put out with any of these guys? And if so, how many? Right? Like that's the money shot. That's the payoff to the movie. And does that give me loser energy? I'm open to agreeing with Anna Howard. Yes, maybe it does give me loser energy that all I care about. It's not all I actually want Anna to find love in New York City. Like I am now, I don't think she and I would get along because clearly I think she would look at this and our sense of humor here at Verbal Graffiti and go, absolutely not. And she's white, and obviously, I like busting Latinas and Asians, so clearly we're not a match. But I am invested in her life now because I did watch her vlog. But now she's calling me loser energy, and all right, even if I do have loser energy, here is my rebuttal to Anna Howard's response calling me or just making a proclamation that the B-Man has loser energy. My rebuttal to that is losers are more intriguing than winners. Therefore, loser energy is more interesting to the consumer than a winner's take. I've had this stance forever. When it comes to combat sports, boxing, UFC, any kind of MMA, after the fight, the bout is done, the winner is the person who is interviewed. It's always whether it's Joe Rogan or whoever's doing comedy. Like, hey, how do you feel? Well, who the fuck? We know how you feel. You just put a guy on Dream Street. He's bloody on the canvas. He's not even aware of his surroundings yet. Like, you just put in, the last six weeks, 2 months preparing for this fight. Like, you're ecstatic. Like, this is nirvana for you. This is the peak of your professional career. That guy's head is your opponent's head is mangled. He's probably gonna get dementia early because of what you did to him. And you're ecstatic for not being in his position. So for me, like, I know how you feel. Like, I don't know how you feel, but we all kind of know how you. Like, yeah, you're happy. You won. You're gonna get to fight again. Your career trajectory in the fight game is going up. Now, here's what I'm getting at: it's the loser. The loser of the bout is the one who should be interviewed, because his take or her take of the loser, that's more interesting. That's more intriguing than anything the winner has to say. That's the person who should be interviewed by Joe Rogan or whomever, is calling the fight. It's like, hey, get down on your knees with them. Like, hey, you prepared your entire life for this fight, right? And you just got kicked in the head in 20 seconds and you don't know what state you're in. And your career is possibly over. How do you feel? Now, whatever answer he gives us in that moment, that's interesting, because you don't really know where he's going to go, where his head is at in that moment. Is he just a tip of his penis? Like, hey, I just had a bad day in the cage, got beat. Is he angry? Is he about to retire? Is he defeated? Where's he? Yeah, physically he's defeated, but mentally, where is that defeat put him? That's what I mean when I say the loser is more intriguing, because his life is at a crossroads, and we don't know where that road is going to lead. Now, we know the winner of the fight, the trajectory is upward, so we know where his path is headed. But the loser, he's all mangled on the floor. Like, his arm is this way, his elbow is this way. We don't know, like, where he's going from this moment, where he just got his ass beat in front of 15,000 ravaging fans. Like that, where his mind is at and where his thoughts are, that's what I want to hear. So when Anna Howard goes, hey, B-Man, you have loser energy. You're projecting loser energy into the comments, into YouTube, into the interweb, the internet. Well, yeah, I am. I am projecting loser energy. But let's be honest. I think that I'm more interesting than Anna Howard and her content. Now, again, I'm rooting for Anna to find love, but she's going on dates every week, and I barely ever date. So I just have to find other losers on Reddit to commiserate with and, be down in the sewer. Not even in the sewer, like underneath the sewer, like underneath the water in the sewer. We are the algae, the scum, that green slippy stuff that you slide on, that, Ninja Turtles. That's who we are. And yeah, even though we are at the bottom, we are the losers. We are the energy just making your days miserable. It does make us more intriguing than the babe on the internet who's able to go on dates, multiple dates a week with multiple guys, and then be kind of vague about whether you're sleeping with them or not. Again, this is why the B-Man loves porn stars, because not only will they tell you about their love life, they'll be explicit about their what they're doing with their holes and how many holes are being filled. That's another thing about Anna Howard. Like, I don't need specifics. I understand you're not verbal graffiti, or it's probably a PC PG-13 type channel that you have. I just want, hey, yes, we made love, or no, we did not. I don't need details. I would like details, but I don't need them. But after a 30-minute video, yeah, Yeah, I want my payoff. I want to know, did you fuck or did you not? And which of these guys did you or did you not do the deed, the P in the V with? Is that loser energy? If it is, fine. B-man, I'm going to start commenting more on YouTube because it's fertilizer for content creation. I fertilize with a comment. Somebody responds to my comment, and a little plant, a little piece of content I could just kind of water and then give all to you at Verbal Graffiti. With all that said, Anna Howard, lovely video. Want to know who you're fucking, and I hope you do find love. All right. Moving along, 20-minute intro. What a fuck. I'm trying to make these episodes under 40 minutes. It is becoming problematic. This comes from the subreddit. Nothing ever happens. How can a man do a single pull-up? ? It's true. Then all the guys and gals clapped. Just witnessed a cis white MAGA male kiss his cross necklace, say a quick prayer, and then fail to do a single pull-up. I went to the bars next to him and cranked out an unassisted pull-up. He watched. Okay. All right. So I think I misread that one, but I'll put it up there so you can read it. So first, hey, we make everything about the B-Man here at Verbal Graffiti. So far this year, I've maxed out at 7 pull-ups in a row, unassisted. What does that make me? Am I a man? Am I a cis man? Am I 100% man? Am I 80? I want to get to 10. So I say I'm 70% man. Let me know what you think, Anna Howard and all the other viewers. But back to you. What can we say? The political wars, the infighting between the left and the right, the Democrats, the Republicans, has made its way to the pull-up bar. All right, on one side we have the cis man, MAGA guy, can't do one. Embarrassing. I agree with you. He is not a man. But should you be bragging? Should you? Okay, so you're what? A woman, a babe, you're a babe, a liberal, and you did one unassisted pull-up bar. Now, while I do appreciate what's the correct adjective I should use? Despite that you have for this MAGA guy, the fact that you saw him struggle, not able to do one, so you're like, fuck this MAGA guy. So you went over and you did one right in front of him, looked at him, and just kind of, hey, MAGA, take the L. Like I appreciate that whatever that little angst you have inside you, I like that. That makes me giddy. The part that doesn't make, I don't fuck with is that like, you can't stunt on somebody, even if it is a cis male, for only being able to do one pull-up. Now, if you did 5, yeah, you could have kicked him in the balls. Like you could have stolen his wife and started a lesbian relationship with her. But one pull-up to 0, like, you're kind of both losers. Just B-man, that's my stance. But I do like your spitefulness, your angers towards the MAGA group, political ideology. I do like the anger that gives you. That makes me giddy. And it really has nothing to do with politics. This has to do with gym mentality. Now, it's been about almost a decade since the B-Man was a regular gym goer. But when I did go to the gym regularly, I was this lady. Everything I did, I was measuring up to the people around me in the gym, and I don't think I'm the only one. I think we all do that. Every time the B-man was at the gym and I was on the treadmill next to somebody, I was always making sure I went a faster speed than the person next to me. It didn't matter if he was at 8, I was at 8.5. I'd be sweating, I'd be disgusting. It was either when I was at the gym, it was either I was competing against the person next to me on the cardio machines, or B, I was trying to get next to the hot babe at the gym. Yes, I was that guy. I am that guy. If I walk into a gym, there's one babe on a treadmill, and there's 7 to 10 empty, unused treadmills next to her, I will go up and take the treadmill right beside her, and we'll get all lathered up in sweat. And because I like smelling hot babes at the gym, and if she was turned off by that, well, hey, move to another treadmill. That's why I pay my $20 a month for a 24-hour gym, so that I can see some hot tail while the B-man burns some calories. So that's me. But anytime I was doing bench press, I was always, just measuring up. Or if I'm doing 135, if the person next to me is doing 120, I win. He loses. And I'm not the only one doing it. We're all doing that at the gym, right? The big guidoed out, muscular gorilla guy, if he's squatting, he's making sure he's doing more sets, heavier weights, he's doing heavier, more sets of whatever the other muscle guys at the gym are doing. Like that, iron sharpens iron. You gotta compete against the people next to you. And that's what I appreciate about this lady and her post, is that there are, that even, that she just, she has that competitive mentality. Now she's using it for, political, it's some just weird political infight. And to be honest, if we do have a civil war, right? And on one side, we have the cis MAGA male who can't do any pull-ups. And then on the other side, we have a liberal Democrat bisexual who could do one pull-up. We better hope there's not an outsider that comes in, because both sides are going to very, very easily be defeated. So whether it's China, Canada, whoever, like a combined one pull-up, like we're fucked. I hope you both know how to use a musket, because in the upcoming civil war, both of you might not survive. And I only can do 7, so I probably won't survive either. But I do like the mentality that you have, the competitiveness, the spitefulness, the just trying. Hey, you're a loser, right? Right now, if you're a Democrat, you're a loser. Trump's in office. I guess the Republicans have the Senate. So you got to get the wins where you can get them. If you can get them at the pull-up bar, take it. I tip on my penis to you, and I'm happy you won. Now, is that guy a man? Right? A man, MAGA guy, can't do a pull-up. Is he a man? He's still a man, but he's not a man. My stance, now that I think, if you want to be a man in the United States of America, you need to be able to do 3 pull-ups regardless of how much you weigh. So every 5 years, you got to pass a test, do 3 pull-ups. If you cannot get your chin over the bar 3 times in a row, unassisted, you need to be 3 options. Chemically castrated. You need to get on the gear for a couple months and then retest that. So steroids, or go to boot camp for 12 weeks, sleep in the bunks with the other 18-year-old, enlistees, and then come out and be able to do 3 pull-ups. Otherwise, we got to deport you. We can't be having men in the United States of America who cannot do 3 pull-ups. Because, we got adversaries, China, Russia, Mexico, I don't know, Brazil. Iceland, whoever, everyone, we're the bullseye. Everyone's coming for us. So we need our men to be able to do 3 pull-ups. So yeah, if you can't do 3 pull-ups, you either get your shit together or you're getting deported. That was a long opening. Let's go look at some photos. Episode 132, segment 2. What a disaster this past weekend was for the B-Man and all of us here at Verbal Graffiti. I was trying to film, I don't even know what to call it, a sketch, a short film, I don't know, a couple minute scene. I was trying to make a couple scenes, put them together, tell a little story. I guess that's a short film. That's what I was trying to make. And everything I did was wrong. I was trying to make it cinematic. I've been watching a lot of short films on YouTube for inspiration, and more so, I'm just trying to steal their techniques and kind of put my sense of humor on it, but use their expertise with cinematography. And man, there were so many content creators on YouTube who are making these short films and giving tutorials. It's very inspiring to anybody who's trying to make art, video art, whether it be a film or a movie or just a short sketch. Go to YouTube and just put in short film, independent film, and you'll see just these creators who make magic. They make magic with their camera. And I'm like, well, I'm going to make magic with my camera, my FX3. And so I was trying to make this little short film in my studio apartment. It was going to be dark and gritty, and I had a whole setup. But all the scenes were like supposed to be dimly lit in a dark room, and I don't know how to do that. I do not know how to do that. So every scene I made when I tried editing it afterwards, I couldn't see myself. You couldn't see any of the apartment. I was trying to do close-ups of me and my face, and like a bathroom and a mirror and my bathroom sink, and just everything was just there was noise. It was dark. The lighting was off from scene to scene. This is very well lit. It's very easy. I put my camera, the white balance, 5600 Kelvin. If you know, that's like daylight. So 56 Kelvin. So the light I have behind the camera that's on me, which is called the key light, that is also at 5600. And then behind me, I have some RGB lights, which are colorful lights. I have those at purple. Magneta, I think, is the proper name for that. And it's just very easy. Everything's 5600, and whatever color it is, it's easy to put together. But when you're trying to focus on yourself, in a darkly lit room, I had to fuck with the ISO and the lighting. Like, if I put it on me, well, then it wasn't dark. So I tried to make it dark, and they bounce it off wall, and nothing worked. Nothing worked. And then after, it was just all Friday night. I was up probably 9 p.m. till 2:30 a.m. Filming, and then most of Saturday afternoon up until like 11 p.m. I was filming. I had setups. I'd move everything around, and just every time I tried to put it in my computer to edit it, it's like nope. You can't see me. The shadows are the highlights. There's no highlights. The shadows can't be seen. And then, so I need to go to YouTube University and learn how to shoot a dark scene properly, and what the settings should be in the camera and the lighting and how I should set it all up. I will prevail if I don't die soon. But if I don't die, I will prevail, and I will get this short sketch film, funny clip. I will try to get it to you. But that is, who knows how long that's going to take. It's becoming more cumbersome than I thought it was originally going to be. And also, the other problem is the B-Man. I watch all these short films, these magicians on the internet. I'm like, well, I want mine to look like that. But again, I don't. So I'm putting my standard where their standard is at, and I am not equipped with the intelligence or the knowledge or the know-how of how to make a real film, other than just cut and paste clips next to each other with some audio and music. And we will learn. We will learn. We will grow here at Verbal Graffiti. But enough about me and my failures and my loser energy. Let's get to another loser that I found on Reddit. And this babe is a loser. This comes from the subreddit Legal Advice. This is a long post. Bear with me. I'm sure you will. Okay. Teacher threw my student belongings in the garbage in front of the class as retaliation. Location, Colorado. My child is in the 6th grade. Congratulations. He has issues with a teacher all year long. On Monday, my child walked up to this teacher and asked him if he could trade his backpack for a pencil to use during the class period. The teacher stated he didn't hear him, so my son repeated himself and said, "Can I trade my backpack for a pencil?" The teacher then took my son's backpack, opened the zippers, and dumped everything that was in the backpack in the garbage in front of the classroom of children, and then told my child to sit down at his seat. This backpack had all of his schoolwork, some forms needed signed, a library book, and personal belongings. The teacher never retrieved his belongings from the trash. He allowed them to be thrown into the garbage that night, and he didn't even bother giving my child back his backpack. I had to request it. The vice principal sent an email to this teacher to ask what happened, and the teacher confirmed the story was accurate and that he dumped my child's belongings in the garbage because he felt my child was mocking him because he was laughing while asking for the pencil. The vice principal stated he believed that this was the teacher's way of teaching my child a lesson. The school is not helping at all. In fact, the administration at the school have tried to make me feel like this is not a big deal. I requested that my son be moved to a different classroom for that period. I was informed that that is a difficult, if not impossible. I was told the vice principal and the principal that the principal would get back to me with his decision on this matter, and I have not heard from him since. I have reached out multiple times. I have gone as far to reach out to the school board and the superintendent. I am currently pulling my son out of class before that class period and returning him after that class period, which I informed them I would do beforehand, as my child is intimidated and humiliated by this teacher. We have an incredibly strict attendance policies in our district, and I am unsure of how to proceed. I am wondering if there's any legal action that I can take. This long expose, this long short essay that this mother just gave us is the reason why there is a big percentage of teachers that are alcoholics. Every teacher will tell you it's not the students, it's not the administrators, it's the parents that they hate the most. And you are the parent that every teacher in your district hates. So much so that your son is only in the 6th grade. That's grade 6. And you've already been excommunicated by the entire district. Anyone who has say, power, pull within your district has said, fuck it. We're giving you the silent treatment. We're going to pretend like you don't exist because we do not want to deal with your hissy fits, your bullshit anymore. There's clearly context that you are not giving us with the interaction between your son and his teacher, who dumped out all of his belongings in front of the entire class. I love this teacher. I pretty much assume that he's an alcoholic. He's drinking a fifth of vodka 2-3 nights a week. I I hope he gets a blowjob. Right? I hope he gets a cream pie, some stripper soon, because he deserves it. Because your son, this isn't the first. This isn't the first instance where your son has tried to needle this teacher. In my ball sack, in the B-man's ball sack, I get an inclination that your son has been a menace, Dennis the Menace, to this teacher and all of his teachers this past year and all the years previously in elementary school and middle school or whatever the fuck you call it in Colorado. Your son is like he deserved whatever this teacher did to him. He dumped his backpack out, had all his stuff thrown out that night, made a mockery of your child in front of all his classmates. Your son deserved that. He deserved all. He needs more ridicule than what this teacher did. This student, this son of yours in 6th grade, he needs to be bullied. Right? There have to be rumors that need to be started that he has a micro penis. There need to be rumors that he still sucks the tit of you, his mother. We need to start a rumor that his father is not his biological father, that you stepped out of wedlock and had a love child, and that your 6th grader is that love child. Not really, he has no real dad. Everything about this, it irks me. I'm with the teacher. I'm with the administration. Why did you stop at the administration? The superintendent. Do you understand? Can you reread the short essay that you wrote on Reddit? Do you understand? Because I don't think you do. That you wrote an email to the superintendent of your district about a number 2 pencil. Do you not realize how ridiculous that is? Do you understand how stressful it is to be a superintendent of an entire school district? Every superintendent in the United States of America wakes up each morning in a deep sweat, just praying this is not the day. This is not the morning a student decides to play duck hunt and just open up fire on a classroom in my district. And here you are, right? Writing an email about a number 2 pencil. Of course, the district doesn't want to deal with you. They have so much real stress, real issues that they need to focus on, that an annoying teacher and her even more annoying son, just go back. It's May. It's May. We have like 3 more weeks left of school. Get over it, right? Your son deserved to have his belongings dumped out. And I hope you know that all of us here at Verbal Graffiti, we hope your son ends up in juvie. Nay. We hope your son ends up in real prison while he's underage. Hopefully he's like 15 and then he's in the big boy 18 plus prison, learning how to trade goods for whatever it is they do there in prison, because that's where your son's gonna end up. You're enabling your son to just keep needling teachers and people of authority. You're allowing this. You're enabling this. You're encouraging your son to misbehave in classrooms. So you know this is going to end. It starts with a 6th grade teacher dumping out, asking for a number 2 pencil, trying to make a mockery of this teacher. It ends with you begging for forgiveness, for mercy from the state's district attorney, because that's where it's ending. Your son is going to end up in a bad place, and you both deserve to be there. I don't want to say 6th grader deserves to have to go to court and go to big boy prison, but he does deserve it. And it's all because of you. Because you're a terrible parent, because you're enabling him, because you're writing emails to the superintendent. Oh, fuck. Why did you stop at the superintendent? Why not write an email about this number 2 pencil to your governor, state representative? Why not? Why don't we just take this to the Supreme Court, right? Why don't we get the 9 justices to weigh in on this issue between the number 2 pencil and that teacher who dumped out your child's backpack? That's how redonkulous this is. I hope your son ends up behind bars, and I'm almost certain that he will within the next 5 years. Your district, they're over your shit. Like, they're over your shit. And you wrote an email to the superintendent about a number 2 pencil. Look at yourself in the mirror and try telling all of us that you're a good mother. You are absolutely not. I have sympathy for this 6th grade teacher. I'd advise, I can't advise kicking a 6th grader in the balls, but a tip of my, good on this teacher. He's taking so much shit from your son this entire school year that your son had it coming to him. And I'm happy that the district did not, they stood behind this teacher and they didn't fire him because of your shenanigans. Because I'm over your shenanigans. I read 3 paragraphs on Reddit about an incident between a 6th grader and a number 2 pencil and a parent who's enabling it all. I, as a principal, I'd call you up and say, yo, honey, learn how to parent. Be responsible. And I'd hang up the phone. And I'm hanging up the phone on this issue. Fucking parents. They make us all drink. All right, Salesman's Wife. We are going to continue reading it by the author John Lawrence. We are atop of page 137. We will read 2 pages together out loud. He was so far gone that he couldn't realize the irony of what he was saying, for he had no idea that Mavis had tricked him. He felt completely at ease and had no sense of danger or anxiety. He spread his legs apart, completely comfortable, leaned his head back and sighed deeply. He became unaware that his vision had changed somewhat. Everything looked soft. The light fixtures glowed incredibly bright. The walls seemed to melt before his eyes, and as he saw it, he laughed manically. Every inch of his body seemed alive and vibrant, and his penis throbbed hotly whenever he shifted position on the sofa. At that moment, the door opened and Mavis re-entered. When Alan turned to look at her, he drew his breath sharply. She had changed into a tight-fitting garment made entirely of deep red leather. It covered her from neck to the black spiked heels of her shoes, clinging to her lush body like a second skin. The sides of the shiny costume were laced from her ankles to her arms, where you could see her naked flesh where the lacing allowed the skin to show through. Her breast jutted out like huge cones encased in a tight, musky leather. As soon as he saw her, his cock hardened like steel. It was amazing, for she had dressed in a sort of outfit he had seen in the girly magazines he had read before he was married. He had often creamed over the sight of chicks dressed like that, but never thought he would ever see one in person. It was as if she knew his most secret dreams, and otherwise, how could she have selected such an astonishing garb? Smiling wickedly, Mavis slinked across the room toward him, and Alan could hear the provocative rustle of the leather as she walked, and the smell of the strong scent of the shiny hide. Soon his breath came in ragged bursts, while his swelling cock pounded the savagery of a jungle drum. The voluptuous, raven-haired creature sat across him. This is what I meant by fantasy therapy. I can see that this particular outfit has had some effect on you, she said, noting the lewd bulge, the crotch of the Levi's he wore. Now, if we were in therapy together, we would make love to me dressed like this, and you in some costume of your own, or perhaps you might prefer to be naked. Casually, she spread her legs apart, and Al could see at once that there was a circular opening in the crotch, fully revealing her vaginal slit. He could hardly believe it. It was the most lurid, stupendous sight he had ever seen. It was all he could do to keep from flinging himself on her leather-clad body and shoving his rigid pole in the inviting little hole. Christ, he thought urgently, to be able to screw her in that outfit. Go suck a fat one.